This Sunday. Every Sunday, side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here, relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp at mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands with the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
Your Christmas letter to St. Nick.
And if you've written that letter to St. Nick, you can deliver it right here to Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive station, with your hosts, Ray Guarino and his elfin friend, Chris Switzer, over there, gloriously playing with some Christmas toys for some young girls and boys. I don't know what the heck he's doing.
I'm just fiddling with stuff here in Connecticut Central, basically. And if you write a letter to us here from St. Nick, in care of St. Nick, you're guaranteed to be disappointed.
Yeah, we might make you listen to the show twice.
Twice? Oh my gosh. It's a fate worse than death.
Yes.
Right here on Motormouth Radio on this glorious Sunday afternoon. Let me tell you, Ray, the question that has been on our minds, inquiry people want to know, and as a representative of this fine nation, we need to know the answer to the question. How's your crack?
Oh, geez, we're on that again. Fine. It healed up very nicely mostly because the weather is nice. Last week we spoke about my use of Zim's crack cream.
Yes, and we needed to know. And you didn't touch your pants, which was a good thing.
Hands off. And if you followed us on social media like I suggested, go to Motormouth Radio. Yeah, go to the X or to, I think our website is in limbo hold right now. It's offline. But X, Motormouth Radio, or on Facebook, or real_Motormouth Radio on Instagram. I did put some pictures up, and one of them was of my bottle of Zim's crack cream.
Yes.
That's great for those cracked cuticles that a lot of us guys get in the winter because we work in solvents and we're in and out of the hot, cold, and fluids and whatnot. So, yeah. Right. Thanks for asking, Chris.
The other crack that you have a problem with.
Yeah, so of course, it's time for the Christmas cat to come out. It's that time of year again.
Oh, good.
Went to the first holiday party of the season yesterday.
You did? Where'd you go?
At my friend Chris's house, right. And it was more of a costumed event. You were supposed to arrive dressed as your favorite Christmas character from a show or a movie or from wherever.
A lot of demands in these parties now.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Isn't that cool? So, who would you go as if you had that? If you had to if you were tasked with that?
The disco elf, I guess.
That would be good. A few years ago, well, you want to see what I went as? I don't have the full gear here, but I have some of it.
I would love to see.
All right.
Love to see your gear, your Christmas gear. Your Christmas gear.
That means you have to talk for a minute.
Oh, okay.
So tell us a story.
I didn't recognize the hand gesture.
Narrate.
Okay. So we are waiting for Ray to put on his Christmas gear that he took.
I was Rasta-Claus, man. Yes, I showed up in my Rasta-Claus outfit. and I spread wealth and good tidings to everybody, all of our friends.
With that nasty noggin, man.
You got that right. It was very, very good. Very good for everybody. Get some red stripe.
And you'll be glad to watch that on YouTube when we put this recording up on that fine establishment social media webpage.
And I'll show you something else too. That came about. That was Joe D. When Joe was co-hosting with me. Joe had brought in a couple of things one year. I'm like, what are we going to do with those? He goes, we're going to wear them. I'm like, what, are you kidding me? Well, Joe had it ended up the costumes worked perfectly because Joe ended up being the Christmas elf, which I thought was fantastically perfect.
Joe, yes.
Look, take a look at this.
Man,
Joe was the Christmas elf.
There's a Christmas spirit. I don't want to go anywhere near right now. The
nasty elf. I mean, look at this faccia brutti here.
Ooh, wait a minute. Turn it right. Ooh.
And there's one more. You got it.
That's a Christmas jeer.
Right.
Oh. Christmas a la ZZ Top.
So Joe he nailed it. So I said, "Well, you got to take these things back." He says, "No, man." He goes, "You gotta, you keep yours. You gotta have that." Right. So I did.
That hat and the entrails you have rolling off the back of it,
right,
is definitely the gift that keeps on giving. That's for sure.
Very true. So I did dress as Rasta-Claus that year for one of the shop parties, and I will again this year. So this was my Rasta-Claus full get up.
Whoa, nice vest,
which I wore last night. Yes, and people didn't even realize it was a snap-on vest. It was like, because it's red and white. I was on the tool truck one year, and I was, I needed something for Christmas, and I asked Bill, the dealer, I said, "Hey, listen, what do you got for Christmas on this truck this year?" "Well, I got these nice wool hoodies, wool hats, and hoodies." I'm like, no, I need something better. I said, "I don't think you're going to have what I need." And he says, "You know what?" He opened the drawer, and he says, "I got this." He says, "Nobody wanted this." And he took out this vest. I was like, sold. That's it. And made him happy, made me happy, and it works quite well. It fits the ensemble.
Because you got rid of something that no one wanted.
Right. So it's like the land of unclaimed toys,
And you're standing first in line.
I sure was. You got that right. So
that's perfect.
What about you? Any festivities or parties or things you've had to do?
It's kind of funny because I've just been part of last week's Motormouth Radio Honor Group because every place I park, I've been having like a barrage of people park around me.
Really?
It's hysterical.
Okay.
Even my wife said so. Like we took my car, which is of course the decommissioned police car, and we went shopping to go check out the deals and the steals and I usually park away from everybody. I know you and I don't agree to this. I know you like to park as close to the venue as possible. I like to park as far away from the venue as possible. And lo and behold, I park my car out there, and I walk away from it, and I always turn around and look at the car. It's always a good thing to just turn around, make sure nothing is burning, nothing is leaking.
Yes.
And so I turn around, car's not a single vehicle is around it. We go into the store. We don't spend a heck of a lot of time, 20 minutes, turn around and come out. There's like 4 cars around.
Well,
I'm like, what in the world just happened? It used to happen with the TR6 all the time. Used to park the little Triumph out in the middle of nowhere. Next thing you know, I got 90 cars around. And now it's happening with the truck. And even she says, "What is it with your car?" I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, this was one of those things that it's just part of this. Tis the season. Tis the season to get a door ding every once in a while.
I wonder, parking strategies, because you see that. You'll see the guy that's way in the far end of the lot, and he parks diagonal across 2 spots. It's
those guys I love.
Yeah. So maybe you're just attracting, like people, people like yourself who are just saying, "Hey, we're going to park out here," and, I
always think people are naturally buffalo.
Yeah, to a degree, yes.
In packs. We are wildebeests. Because if you think about it, you could be on a parkway driving along, and if you get ahead of the glut of vehicles, because that's what happens, you get this kind of collection of cars all doing the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
It's like there's almost like familiarity, there's almost like comfort to know that there's a car in front of you, behind you, and alongside you. I don't like that. I try and get ahead of them.
See, let me add, just interject. I do the opposite. I've been kind of slowing down a bit lately. I let them get ahead of me.
Right.
And then I'm in this pocket of nothing. I'm like, hey, look at that. They're all ahead of me doing like 80, and I see maybe see cars behind me, but I'm in this nice little rocking chair here, and I like it. And
it's fun. Yeah, it's funny. What happens when you sit there too long?
Oh, well, inevitably, the morons come zipping up behind you. Now be in the middle lane. Middle lane, so there's two other lanes you can use to get around me. And if you're driving like you should and you're looking ahead, which you're not, you'd see a car, me, in the middle lane. And you can, as you get closer, you can judge it. But even if you can't, you're not judging the speed. You know, you can see two other lanes wide open. Just make the nice, gentle swoop around me. No, they get right up on my butt. I saw it last night on Sunrise Highway. This guy did this to a car next to me. Right up on the bumper. And I was next to them. So I saw like not even a foot of space, like 8 inches. And then the guy slingshots around. I was like, you could have done that before you had all this drama. And then, of course, he goes 80 miles an hour. And I told my wife, I said, what's coming up right up here on Sunday? I said, this is traffic. There's a light. It's the first light going west when you're on the highway. I said, he's doing 80, headed right for the red light. And sure enough, there he was. I was like, hey, good for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I totally get it. It's a professional race car driver's way of driving.
Yeah.
Or when you're
These guys ain't pros. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You glide around vehicles. You save the wear and tear on your car.
Yep.
By racing up to an obstacle in front of you and jamming on the brakes and then slingshotting with the threat of losing control of your vehicle because, God forbid, you hit something or like an oil patch, a patch of leaves, wet spot, whatever it is, that you lose traction for that second. And now you're a projectile into the guardrail. If you glided around the obstacle in front of you, you would have avoided all of that.
It would have been so easy. Now if that guy that got run up on, if he or she, I don't know who was in that car, freaked out and just tapped the brakes,
Built up.
it would have been a brake check at this guy doing, a high speed. And, I mean, he had to be on his brakes anyway because he had to be on his brakes already because he couldn't go through the car in front of him. Mm-hmm. But, that's when you're on that fine line of control and maneuverability. And you got to wonder, what's the state of being of that driver in the rear car? Is he or she straight and sober and just driving way too fast? Or are they impaired for some reason because they were at a party too and they're overdoing it? You don't know. That's the problem. You running from the cops, maybe. I don't know. You don't know what's going on because this thing was a black Durango, all blacked out, murdered out, windows, wheels, everything, fully murdered out. And I'm thinking I don't know who's in that thing, but
I could only imagine.
They're making a statement.
I'm not impressed.
No. So listen, bad driving and bad driving techniques. All the people I talk to, of course, I'm playing in traffic. We talk to a large swatch of people throughout the country about this, and it's universal. It's everywhere. It really is.
Oh, I believe it.
The bad drivers are everywhere. People, they do those surveys where they say which state or municipality has the worst drivers based on insurance data. You know what? Screw your insurance data.
Usually the top. What?
I say screw your insurance data. There's so much stuff you don't see that you don't know. Well, like Brooklyn, for a matter of fact, here on Long Island, our insurance rates are always impacted by Brooklyn drivers because of the insurance claims and stuff like that. So,
and Brooklyn has one of the highest insurance rates in the country.
And because of either of multiple claims, fraudulent claims, all sorts of crazy stuff.
I couldn't tell you when I was living in the Borough of Trees, all of the cars that had New Jersey license plates on them, and then they were all in very affluent areas, and I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm. What do you miss about Brooklyn? You were there for a long time. What do you miss about it?
What do I miss? I don't miss the food. I love when people say that.
You don't?
I miss the
really?
pizza. You know what? Whatever. pizza's pizza. I don't do that. What do I miss? I miss walking to get a quart of milk.
Yes.
I don't miss anything automotive, and nothing automotive.
You don't miss Coney Island Auto Parts?
I do.
Yeah. Well, see,
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What was the other one? What was the other one with the peanut shells on the floor? Whatever the hell that was.
Loose Auto Parts.
Oh yeah, those guys. Right.
Loose Auto Parts was on East 2nd Street in Avenue U, the greatest auto parts store in the world until it closed about, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Coney Island Auto Parts was a joy to behold.
Yeah.
This is no endorsement by all means, but it had to be the craziest auto part. It was like the stock exchange in that place.
And I'll tell you the truth, I've been in the place. I had actually been in that place. Yeah.
So you've seen the joy that is.
And it was in the 70s, so it was like probably in the heyday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was probably when it was at its least efficient. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But it's the only auto parts store that you have to yell your request.
Yeah.
It's like you walk into an auto parts store. It's like, I need a water pump for whatever. You talk in a normal voice.
Right.
No, because everybody's screaming in there on the phone at whomever parts supplier. That whomever walks up to you, because usually you as a walking customer are like treated as the least priority of the crowd, because everybody's on the phone.
Right.
So someone walks up to you and you're like, give me a water pump for whatever it is, whatever you're looking for. It's because you got to, because everybody else is screaming in that place.
There was a store I used for a while in Belmore, New York, They had a long counter, and it was an L shape, and they must have had 8 guys. Those were the countermen, and they all sat behind the counter at chairs because once they took their place, they were there for the day. They ate lunch right there. They never left.
Screwed into the stool.
So it wasn't right. It wasn't like a typical store where the countermen stand. These guys sat, and they had runners that would come up, and it was like bookies. They'd hand them pieces of paper, and the kids would go and then come back with like boxes of parts, like, here's your master cylinder. He said, oh no, I wanted it. What are you talking about? I need a D21, not this shit, jerk. That's what they would do. And it was really pretty, it was really pretty funny to see that happen.
What was the name of the store again?
It was Cap Auto Parts. So let's go to the phones. Go to the fun, say, hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, I got to really disagree with you. Pizza's pizza.
All right. Who are we talking to?
All right.
Pat.
My name's Ron.
Oh, no, Ron.
Ron. How you doing?
Good, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
I'm in Clinton. How you doing?
Doing well. Tell me. Okay. I was hoping I could call like this.
I lived there for 40 years.
And where are you now, Ron? Where are you located at?
I'm upstate.
Okay.
I'm upstate. And yesterday, I did a 500-mile round trip for food down to Long Island.
Where'd you go?
Pizza, got the sausage, got the breads.
Yeah, where did you go?
Oh, Umberto's. Umberto's in New Hyde Park.
Very good.
Okay.
See, I like Umberto's in Elmont. I like the one on the corner of Meacham and
King Umberto's. That's the brother. They don't get along.
I know.
Yeah. Umberto's is New Hyde Park.
I use them both. I do. I use them both. But yeah.
And you know what? I've had the pizza, and it's good. So I'm with you.
But it's worth the 500-mile trip.
500-mile trip.
It's 250 miles. I'm outside of Utica, New York. It's about 250 miles down to the island.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we left at 5:30 yesterday morning and got home at 8 o'clock last night.
Wow.
With one loaded car of food.
Do you do that? Do you do that every year, Ron?
Twice a year, 2 to 3 times.
Okay.
Good for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. But Rod, it's when someone mentions pizza, like, is that the best place that you would go? Like, or is, I mean, yeah, we're talking 500 miles, but is there any other place? Like, would you go to Brooklyn for pizza or Queens maybe, or the Bronx? Or is that
Long Island guy?
Island guy. Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. I'll tell you something.
Arthur Avenue. I mean, no, there's a good one out in Lindenhurst.
Yes, Frank's.
No, Imperial.
Oh, okay, all right. There. I think they're on the same. They're on the same road. There's a couple of them like that. I'll tell you something. A number of years ago, my wife and I, for 3 years in a row, we went up to the Syracuse Nationals.
Okay.
And I remember as we were going, because I took 17 up the first time, I remember going through Utica and saying, look at these fields of alfalfa. What the hell is this? Green? There's just green everywhere. Like, geez, what are they doing? And we went to a little Italian restaurant to eat, and And the guy on the menu was Utica Greens.
Utica Greens.
So I said to the guy, I asked the guy, I said, hey, I saw all this stuff coming up. I said, what do you do with these greens? How do you make these greens? Oh, I got a special recipe. It's the best. I'm like, I'll be the judge of that. Well, I'll tell you something. We went back and I took Utica Greens back home with me. That's how damn good they were.
Oh, yeah. Now, you know what we have up here that we don't have down on Long Island is tomato pie.
Oh, okay.
Tomato
So think of like Sicilian.
Right.
With chunky tomato sauce and a little Parmesan cheese served room temperature.
Oh, room temperature. Well, we've all done that.
You know? Well, that's like the next morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
No,
that's different.
But Utica Greens. Oh, Utica Greens are slamming.
I was totally enthralled with Utica Greens, and like I said, we brought them on the trip back. So that's all. I look forward to getting back up there again, maybe for the Nationals, but definitely to see if that restaurant's still in business and have me some.
Do you
greens.
remember the name?
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head. I may have it written down in a ledger at home from the trip. I have to look. It was just a small little place, but.
Utica's filled with them. So
what do you do car-wise, Ron? How did you find us? You listen to us from Utica. How did you find us?
Oh, originally from Long Island.
Oh, so you listened when you were down here?
Oh, yeah, and keep listening. Wonders in the internet and everything.
Great. Well, hey, listen, don't be a stranger. Call and tell us what you're doing, and just chime in on like this. Just chime in on the conversations. It's always good to hear from people.
Yeah, no, definitely. So.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
Thanks so much.
All right, have a good one.
All right, so long.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right, excellent.
And also, we've been texted. You can also text.
Brian's text line.
Yes. MatcoMan Brian's text line, 203-670-4127. And what do we see here? Let's see. Eddie's Pizza in New Hyde Park.
I've never been to Eddie's in New Hyde Park. I don't know where that is.
I'm just trying to see here. Trying to get off this ad here. Yeah. Eddie's Pizza in New Hyde Park. Yes, this is coming from John.
Okay. Otherwise, you can call us at 516-572-7440. I'll tell you something. I made impressed a guy yesterday, speaking of MatcoMan Brian.
Yeah.
One of the guys at Mike's shop is... he's a body guy, and he was asking for these specific tools, like clip removing tools, and I asked him to send me info, but he never texted me the information on it. So I was going to talk to Brian about it. And
I actually asked Santa for a clip removing tool this year because I'm tired of breaking those silly things.
Well,
you've just been seeing them more and more.
Right. Let's try the phones first and say hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Chris. How are you? Let me mute the...
Thank you, John. That's very kind of you.
Thank you, John. Mute ourselves.
Stepped away from the controls. But, Eddie's Pizza is great.
All right. John knows it.
The funniest is that Zagat did a survey, or Zagat, or however you want to pronounce it, long time ago, and they still have the review up on the wall.
It could be tattered, torn, it faded. They're leaving that up until the window disintegrates.
Pretty much. But the funniest part is if you read it, it's like eating pizza on matzo bread. It's that crisp.
Oh, I like crisp crust. I like a nice thin crisp crust.
They're little like personal pizzas.
I may have to get out. Where is Eddie's in New Hyde Park? On Hillside or on Jericho?
Hillside Avenue.
All right. I can't tell you how many. I must have played darts in every bar on Hillside Avenue when I was in the leagues, like every single one of them. But that's good to know.
It's pretty much, but the funniest part was the Zagat survey or review said probably some of the best pizza you'll ever eat. If you're looking for ambiance, close your eyes.
Right. Well, it's okay. You know what?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's all right. Yeah, we've been in worse places.
That's for sure.
Oh, good. Well, thanks for that clarification, John. I appreciate that.
No worries. Hey, Chris, I was howling with your parking story. I went to like one of these super Walmarts on Friday.
Okay.
And the amount of carts in the lot, I thank God it wasn't windy because there's no safe place to park. When the wind catches them, they're like,
right.
And, there was a guy, as I was walking back with all the Christmas gifts back to my truck, actually putting the cart back into the cart parking lot.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
that
I
cart
wanted to
carriage
thank
cage.
them.
Right? No, yeah, that is a good thing to do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do
They
it. I
should
don't
do
leave the
like
cart
they
there.
do with those little shuttles at the airport. You got to put your credit card in, and it's $5 to get a cart, and you
Yes.
get it back when you're done with it.
Right. I did that the other day. We were at Stu Leonard's, and we got our Christmas tree, and I happened to have a little car, so we went in the store, and I wheeled it back to the kiosk in the middle of the lot, and this guy was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, Merry Christmas." I said, "No, I'll park this next to your car. See how you like it."
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
John, you're exactly right. Those
Right.
things are treacherous when the wind blows.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I go to Home Depot.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Got that right.
Yeah, I get it. No, I
Anyhow,
totally understand.
It's definitely not a convertible day today. I know you're not up to the weather yet.
Gonna do it right now. Yeah.
But yeah, if you go out with the top down today, you might need a pump and a filter and some chlorine.
Exactly. A scuba suit. Right.
Hey guys, have a great rest of your day. Be safe on your trip home, Ray.
Will do, John. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
You guys.
Thanks, John.
All right.
Bye.
So we might as well kick this off with saying, the weather, it's supplied by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Uniondale. Today, rain. It started a little earlier than I thought, but it's supposed to rain all day, all night, Marianne, right till tomorrow. The high's going to be like 58, so it's going to be a warm rain, but it's going to go to the morning, and then hopefully it'll clear. They're saying 1 to 2 inches or so, which is, that's a hefty kind of a rain.
It's the type of rain where you have to check your basement.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it's with the wind. When it's wind driven, which you think it's going to be, they said there may be 50 to 60 mile an hour winds in some places. So keep an eye on those trouble spots. Also, Friday nights at 8:00, you want to keep an eye on a trouble spot we have here. It's called Beatles Songs, and
I've heard of it.
You know who hosts it, right?
Is it the Golden Tones?
The guy who just left his studio, hosted by NCC alumnus Rob Leonard. I didn't know what that word was for me. I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. Sorry, Rob. Beatles Songs takes on an all-encompassing look at the Beatles, of course. What else?
Really? I thought it was the Dave Clark Five.
Not the Golden Beatles, not the Bug Beatles, the real Beatles. Not the fake
Not Johnny and
Beatles.
the Pacemakers.
Not the fake Beatles, like he claims that Bruce Springsteen's bands are at. They had a big rift about that today. He and Kim, you should hear that. That was funny.
That was a debate that one would love to hear.
Kim
and not
won.
the Ruddles either.
Right. Well, Rob plays the Ruddles.
He does.
His show features the music together and apart, as well as cover songs the Beatles covered, okay, and songs the Beatles either guested on and or produced, and he will do the Ruddles. Do we have the honor group of the rainy hour for the
Yes, we do, right here on this fine, upstanding, soggy Sunday. And to make with the Christmas cheer, and sometimes I wonder if it's worth repeating, but the Motormouth Radio honor group of the hour this week, drivers who celebrate the holiday tradition of purchasing a tree, tying it down on the roof of their car, and getting on the highway doing 80 miles an hour. Nothing like watching a large SUV full of screaming kids, aggravated parents, and a dog with weak kidneys zipping past you at a high rate of speed with the trophy of the Christmas holiday bouncing erratically on the roof. And what is regularly used to tie the tree down on the vehicle anyway? Mm-hmm. Why, it's that long, thin paint finish destroyer in a roll. Yeah. No, it's not steel wool. It's simple twine. It's stuff that if pressed firmly on the paint will instantly wear it down to bare metal in a single trip home with the tree.
Right.
So if you see that SUV with 1, 2, or even 3 trees upon the roof barreling up fast in your rearview mirror and getting about a foot away from your bumper, just simply get over, let them by, take a deep breath, and bask in the joy.
Yep. Get out of the way.
In the season tradition.
Good point.
That you are part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. There you go.
Good point. So now let us take our bottom of the hour break. We will have our own Randy Bachman, or as now he's been called, I've heard on some videos now that he pronounces his name Bachman. I grew up knowing it as Bachman, like Bachman Turner Overdrive, which is where he's from. But now I think the brothers had a little bit of a split where one of them said Bachman, the other one now, Randy, I think, says Bachman. So, hey, we'll call him whatever he wants. I don't know. They make good music. He did a Christmas CD. That's good enough for me. So we'll hear some of that on this fine show. And we'll be back with more Motormouth Radio with your hosts, Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer, in just about a couple of minutes. So keep it where you got it. They say Santa's coming to town, so let's see what Randy has to say about that, Chris.
All righty.
On 90.3 WHPC.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
We'll be back with answers to your car questions. Give us a call at 516-572-7440. Oh, I should have said the motor mouth thing.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
You're listening to the Motor Mouth.
Hey, Ray and Chris.
Did you guys read my mind?
Okay, I appreciate you having me on.
Wow, you guys finally figured it out.
Motor Mouth.
This is great. No more foolishness.
I miss my cousins.
You're a funny guy. I've been waiting for Sunday just to ask you guys this question.
Our trained staff of 2 will help.
Well, good afternoon, guys. I need a little advice.
All right, so you got me to call in. All right.
I don't know everything. You know, you guys are mechanics.
You guys have a great show. Thank you very much. I come with a tale of woe and a warning for the younger guys.
Chris is doing jumping jacks. He's getting ready. Ray is right behind me.
Every time I get off the air, I think,
Motor Mouth.
oh boy, they're never going to ask me back after that one.
Yeah, this is a collect call. How are you?
Quite frankly, there are better things to do with your time.
Oh, I probably called the wrong number. I was trying to get a hold of Ray. And I wake up screaming.
So I'm very happy to listen to your good advice.
Yeah, I want to know what the is wrong with my car.
You know, break it down for us call guys. All right, see you next weekend.
Motor Mouth.
I know you guys usually speak Guido,
Right.
and now you're talking Pinkel and Yiddish, and this morning I happened to listen to the rabbi on your station. So it's all, you know, I guess today's Yiddish then.
Right.
There are answers, sometimes correct ones, and we may have them.
Motor Mouth Radio, 90.3 FM, WHPC.
Motor Mouth.
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motor Mouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
And you might learn that as this song times right out. Thanks to John. He actually programmed that very well for us. Thank you, Johnny. We're back. Motor Mouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive talk show with your hosts, Ray Guarino, Chris Switzer, 516-572-7440. Give us a call and talk to us about your car concerns, what you got going on for the new year. I had a thought of a topic this morning, and I didn't write it down. See how that works.
Oh, boy.
You know what? If you... Tis the season to be shopping for others and to be looking for stuff. So if there's anything that's on your list, I'm curious what people might want that's car guy related for Christmas this year. You know,
does anybody want a gleaming tool for Christmas?
I do. And
you
I actually, gave my wife a few thoughts about that. But what about you? Is there anything? What's on Chris's list?
I had left because I usually don't ask for tools from Santa, because every time I ask for tools from Santa, it's always a debate. It's always always get into like this conflict.
Really,
just case in point, you have one. It's a clip removal tool, and it's a pair of pliers. And when you squeeze on the pliers, the forked plier end will separate. Therefore, you slip it under the clip, and you can pop the clip out without damaging it. So I reach out to my wife, and I go, I'd like this. I sent her the post for this tool, and she writes me back. She goes, I got you that already. And now I'm like, okay.
Okay. Now
I always say, if there's any in a situation like this, then it's me.
So Chris is thinking about now toolbox organization.
You're right.
Or the lack thereof.
So I'm going around the house looking for, like, where didn't she get it? Like, do I have it stashed somewhere? Like, okay, I unwrapped something and last year and I put it here and I go through this pile. It's not there. I go through that pile. Go through this whole thing.
These are two different types. These are two different types of that tool. The one with the light blue, handles has two like knife edge blades, kind of like shears, and then that's what
I use a pair of nippers for in place of those. But yeah, this is one that it's like a wide fork on the bottom of the plier and a thinner fork on the top, and it pops the clip out. So I'm like going around. I finally find a box of those plastic prying tools that you would use to get behind like a door panel, because a screwdriver will damage the door panel if you pry, and a spatula is not going to work. So you need those thick plastic ones. They won't destroy. So she had gotten me those, and in that box was looked like a screwdriver handle with a small bent, kind of like a C end. Yes, kind of looked like exactly like that. Right, correct. I hope people watch this on YouTube when we do put it up.
Well, I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it on social media. So look at X or Facebook or real_Motormouth Radio on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'll tell you about those after you finish.
Okay. So I open up the box and there's that, and she goes, "That's what I got you," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not the thing I need."
Right.
So we'll go back and forth. And I'm like, why didn't I just go buy it?
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'll tell you this. The new owner of the text line, Brian, MatcoMan Brian, is the star of the day, because one of the guys at the shop was he was asking me, they have a Snap-on guy, same guy I use. They have a Matco guy. He's I won't go on the guy's truck. The guy's he used a nice flowery expletive word to describe this guy. He goes, so I won't even deal with the guy. He's a jerk. And they have a Mac guy. We know that he won't be coming back in a week or so. So anyway, he said Matco. He claims that Matco is the only company that has those clip tools with the thinnest blades on the end. Now, I didn't know that to be true. I didn't doubt him, because I have some Snap-on ones and I also have some Harbor Freight ones, and those ends are they're thick. I actually took one and ground it down to make it thinner.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
So during the week, last week I asked him, I said, send me a picture or a part number or something, find something online and send it to me, and I'll get it to Brian and we'll see if we can get this for you. So he didn't. So when I stopped in the shop yesterday and I said to him, you never sent me anything. So I go on Matco's website and I'm looking around, find a few things. I said, you know what? Let's just do this. I dial up Brian, get him on the phone. As this guy, as he's working on the car, I got Brian on speaker. I said, Brian, I got a buddy here, needs some tools. He's in despair and only you can help. And Brian started sending us pictures. There was the fellow was looking for a set, but Brian said the set doesn't actually exist. He goes, I'll make you the set if I know what you want. So, my buddy was impressed. He says, wow. He goes, the tool guys, none of the other tool guys will do that. They don't want to break sets apart if you need one, or they don't. And I said, listen, Brian is so customer-centric. He is so in tune with his customers, and he cares about them, that, he'll make you the set if that's what you want. And he'll send it up here, on top of it. So kudos to Brian for being the serviceman of the year where that goes, for customer service.
And it's much appreciated. This week, I had to drill a hole in a bathroom tile.
Okay.
For my wife wanted to make an impromptu Christmas decoration basically for our Girl Scout troop.
And it needed a masonry bit.
I needed a bit that would go through glass and tile.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to get a bunch of maybe a 5/16 bits, like maybe a handful of them, just in case, because they're going to get dull, and when they get dull, they get hot, and you're going to snap the tile. You can't cut ceramic tile unless you have a super sharp bit.
Right.
But of course, you go to the big box stores, and they have an assortment of them. So you have a 1/8, you have a 5/16, you have a 1/4, 1/2, 3/8, whatever. You have a series of one individual for each size.
Right.
When I'm looking for a couple of just one size,
Yeah.
and they're not there. So in order to get another size, you have to get another 5 bits of 4 of them you don't need. So it was I would probably have appreciated something like that to call a tool guy and say, send me a half a dozen of the 5/16 bits.
Did you look on Amazon? Because they usually will sell individual stuff.
No,
Okay.
it's all in sets.
All right.
So they didn't sell them individually. They didn't sell them in groups of certain bit size. Yeah, I was a little taken aback by that. So,
Right.
And of course, I'm not a fan of, and this is not an endorsement. Thankfully, no one's listening. I'm not a fan of Roby tools sometimes.
Okay.
They're very hit or miss. And you go to Home Depot, and I go and get the assortment of bits. I go drill through one tile with the bit, works fine. I'll go drill through the second tile, ting, there goes the blade.
Wow.
Because it's a blade jammed into a shaft. Like the shaft has got a groove cut in it. The blade fits into that.
It's a carbide insert is what it is. And they're supposed to braze it. Sometimes they epoxy it in.
The insert went flying.
Yeah.
And I took it back.
Right.
And I even told the woman that it was very helpful in the return process.
Right.
But I said, I'm not a fan of the product.
I need a charger for a Ryobi 18-volt battery. I happen to need one of those.
Ooh.
I came across a tool that's now mine, and I have the tool with the battery, but I do not have, I have the batteria, but I do not have the batteria charger, so I need a charger for a Ryobi 18-volt battery. In case you happen to have one laying around.
I'll keep an eye on.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Show me a picture of what you need. I may have something for you.
Well, I don't have a picture of the charger because I don't have it. So, I mean,
show me a picture of the battery.
I can show you a picture of the battery. It's one of those flat batteries with the 4, and I'm sure that it would work off another manufacturer's charger because it's just.
I'm a little leery of that. That's how fires get started.
Well, there are ways that you can really burn yourself, but I think a low amp charger. I think they're all doing kind of the same thing. Wow, our phone's lit up all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm always a little proponent of using the right charger for the right battery.
All right, let's try this battery and say hi. You're the Motor Mouths.
It might be a dead battery. What's going on?
There's Dougie from the UD. Hey, you know what? We haven't called you Dartboard in a long time. They still use that name, Dartboard Doug. Remember?
Yeah, but it's not from playing darts.
I know.
It's from not showing up on time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dougie, how's everything going?
Start throwing. How we doing, guys?
Excellent.
You good?
Yes.
Doing great, my brother. How are you?
All right, Chris. How's the tracker doing, man?
Traffic?
No, the tracker.
Oh, the tracker. Let me tell you, Dougie, my tracker is the best thing since sliced bread. It is. I love that
they
little
fix
thing.
themselves.
They fix themselves.
Yeah,
every
it
now
does.
and then.
What do you mean, like they scab over? Is that what you're saying? Is that?
Hey, you look at a check engine light and it's gone.
Okay.
I tell you, I had a check engine light. I think if you have heard, a couple of weeks ago, I had a P0031, which said just change the oxygen sensor. That was it. I actually went and with what would you say, brass with guts of steel. I bought a $16 O2 sensor.
Ooh, baby.
Online.
Shooting the
and
wad.
I knew Ray was going to jump down my throat because he was going, wow, what are you buying that junk for?
Yeah.
And I installed it, and within 10 minutes, and light was gone. Life was good.
Yeah.
That thing is nothing but great. The problem with it is you look really poor when you drive it. People kind of let you in because they feel sorry for you.
Hey, look, I'm driving an 02 Mazda with black rims. Like, how do you think I feel? It's like,
Yeah, you look like you need a handout.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people want to hand you a quarter.
I'll take it. The hell?
Yeah, well, the good part is the guys looking for handouts walk right by you.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So, speaking of check engine lights, I got one for you.
What do you got?
Talk to us.
The guys in the UD upstairs got a call from a customer. Check engine light comes on the car. She's on the highway. Check engine light comes on. It's a regular Malibu, like a 2012 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Car goes limp.
Okay,
On the highway. Nice.
Yep.
Oh
boy.
Gets it off the highway. Brings it over to lifts it over to the shop. They said, we'll look at it tomorrow, whatever. So they bring it inside. They go, let's, put the scanner on it. See why this car is limp.
Yeah.
Why the check engine light came on. Only you can't put the scanner in there because one of those progressive insurance company monitors are in where the scanner goes.
Oh, and you can't take that out?
No, you can take it out, but this is why. So they take that out, start the car's fixed.
Okay.
No way.
Well, it may not be. I'll tell you this, Doug. My wife's Cruise is a 12, and that car's gone into limp mode a number of times on me, and it was everything from once a bad battery, another time was a bad thermostat, another time it was a bad throttle body. So I have had legitimate problems that put it into, and then it was with the thermostat, it went to said it was overheating, and then the thing just immediately went to into limp mode. So there's a lot of things that can cause the car to do that.
Okay, but as soon as they pulled it out, the check engine light went off.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? That's a little different then. A little different. So I would say drive it around for a while without that in, and see if it continues to be okay.
Done.
Okay, yeah, and then I would call the insurance company.
Of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave her a hard time, so she dropped them.
Okay, good enough. Good. I'll tell you something now. Like again, on my wife's car, this is driving me crazy. Just this week, we're using the car during the week, and the radio. It just so happened I had the satellite on, but the radio display just went blank, out. No, and sound stops. It goes blank, like huh, and then it comes back on, and it would do that for a couple days in a row. That happened, and then it would be okay. I'm like, well, what the heck is going on? So I poke around a little. I look at some of my sites, and they're saying that it could be a bad body control module for the radio, or it could be a bad negative battery cable. And ironically, though, I had just talked to the satellite people, and we had to reconfigure, and we downloaded a fix for the satellite signal. I'm like, or it could be that, right? So I made up a jumper out of a negative jumper cable, went from the negative battery to the engine, and I took each of these grounds off that are right on the chassis. And I remember Joe always said, what part of a bad ground don't you understand? So these didn't look bad, but I dressed them all. I used a star washer with some dielectric grease, put them all back together, and now we used the car for a couple days, and now, the radio hasn't gone out again. But my question is, and I got to ask Joe this, because I know he did a lot of stuff with body control modules. Where the hell are they? Like, if you needed the radio BCM, where would you go and look for it? Is it the size of a relay? Is it the size of a bread box? Is it the size of a loaf of bread? Is it the size of a cigar?
Great question.
I think they're all different.
I know, and nobody tells you.
That's on the vehicle.
And nobody tells you. So that's my new quest, is to find like a BCM master chart.
That wouldn't happen with the GTO because it's got too many grounds to begin with.
Well, that's true. That car is grounded, right? The electricity, lightning runs from that car, right?
And speaking of Joey D, he made a cameo at the UD yesterday.
Oh, excellent. Good to know.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's up and around, and
good.
We pulled his pace car out of dead storage and cleaned it up, got it running.
Very good.
And he'll be in good shape.
I love that car.
Yeah.
The 82 Camaro pace car. That is so nice.
Yeah. That's good.
Just wanted to let you know about that insurance company in case you ever get a phone call if some people are stranded. Ask them if they got that, in their card in the
right.
No, that's a great point.
That's good, Doug. I'll remember that. Yeah. Thanks for the info. Cool.
I didn't think that would impede the performance of the vehicle, though.
No.
I spoke to a couple of guys. And then one other guy that I spoke to said that he knew somebody had the same problem.
Okay.
And it was that, so when they're trying to save you money, they're also trying to kill you. So
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the only thing I can think of. The only thing I can think of, Dougie, is the fact that maybe it's got cheap electronics in that.
I wonder if it failed. Yeah, if it internally failed
and shorted and sent the short into.
Right.
The car picked it up.
But hey, problem solved. Toss it out the window.
I like fixing problems that way.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Nice.
You never know. Somebody might give you a call and say, "Oh, son of my car did this, did that." You can always ask me.
Yeah, right.
Get that insurance monitor in there. Or
You're right. You're right.
Very true.
Just a quick question never hurts,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Doug. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the help, Doug.
All right, guys. I'll let you go, man.
All right.
I'll see you, Ray. But Chris, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry
all
Christmas.
That. And
you too, my brother.
Come to the UD for the Christmas party if you want, but I know you got to travel to do so.
Right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Doug.
Invitation's open, guys.
All right.
Okay.
So long, Dougie. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. That was Dougie from the UD.
It's always good to hear from Dougie.
Yeah, I'm waiting on their party. We're going to go out there and hang with the guys. It's funny because, I have a number of parties I have to go to, and it's funny, they're all so different with the people and the settings. It's amazing. But we're going to go back to the phones again because John had something else to say. What is it, buddy?
I had to call you back on your charger woes.
Okay.
Ryobi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on Amazon and look up. It's amazing the amount of adapters. If you got an 18-volt charger for something else,
yes,
they sell adapters that probably adapt the Ryobi battery into, like I can plug a DeWalt battery into my, Makita charger.
I know there's a lot of conversions to, if you had 12-volt batteries, they'll charge...
No, Ray, they make them for 18 volt. Oh my God, there's a plethora of them out there.
Right.
Especially, I'm sure there are a lot of guys 3D printing them. But
yeah, right. Well, that's my point, John.
It's all according to the ecosystem you grow up with. Some people are Android people, others are Apple.
Right.
I happen to be a Makita guy because I just got tired of. I had a DeWalt this. A Ryobi that, and I just said, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and went all to Makita products. To each his own. It's a personal preference.
You're right. I kind of started doing that going towards Milwaukee with their stuff, trying to throw it in with them. But I know that there are conversions for older batteries, like the older 12-volt batteries, with the newer chargers as well. So, right, that's a good thought. I'll check that out, John.
And some of the companies now, I know Makita has it, because they've got 36-volt batteries now, and I have 18-volt. But I think the newer chargers, I can still plug my 18-volt battery into, and it just knows.
I got to tell you something. My buddy, good friend Clay Kuhn, he's got a channel, Kuhn Trucking and Diesel Medic Repair. He's down south. What a surprise, right? But Clay did a video about a year ago on a half-inch impact gun, battery-powered impact gun that he bought at Napa, and it's a 60-volt battery. I was like, oh my God. Now, I was waiting to see what was going to happen with that. It's been at least a year since he did that. And truthfully, I saw Torque Test Channel do a test of it, and it did very well.
That's a great channel.
But it is. But I haven't heard now anything else about that tool, pro or con, whether it's gotten traction. I don't think it really has, because I haven't heard anything you think you'd hear about it. But I haven't heard any more negatives about it either. But talk about a standalone 60-volt. Jeez.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what Makita's up to now. They sort of did a hybrid. They had, the original ones were 9.6 volt, and, with the industry, they moved up.
Right.
And 18 volt was like, they sold a gazillion of them, but
then
they started selling tools that used two 18 volt batteries.
Wow.
And they're beyond that now. I forgot what the max is.
Well, what they could be doing, too, is most people would think, 36 volts. No, they may be using two 18s in parallel to get the same voltage, but double the torque, double the amperage capacity.
Exactly.
Right.
But, I think they were up in the 60-volt range Not that I'm rushing out to.
No. Right.
You know, my half-inch impact gun, it runs on an 18-volt, 6-amp-hour battery, and oh my God, I haven't found anything that, it doesn't break free.
Right. Yeah, no, that's top shelf stuff there. Yeah.
And if it doesn't, find a torch.
Yeah, exactly. The flame wrench. Very good, John.
You know, guys, I'd look up, if you got an 18-volt charger, you could probably get an adapter and not even deal with another charger taking up space in and I know your garage.
Yeah.
Yes. Ray's garage is a sight to behold, that's for sure.
It's got less room in it than mine, and mine's too small.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Not to get personal.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not a secret.
All right, guys.
Thanks, John.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, John.
All right. Chris, do you use any battery-powered tools? Or
I do.
Corded,
I do. I'm actually in that mode where I have a different brand of battery-operated tool for each.
That's frustrating.
It is.
That's
it really is.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm waiting for that time in my life where I have to cash them all in and just go with one brand and one type. And it is frustrating. Although I have to laugh, I was down in Florida a couple of months back, and I needed to buy a battery-operated drill.
Okay.
And I was only going to use it this one time. I mean, I still have it, but it's not home. It's still down there.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to Walmart. And I was just I had my hands in my pockets, and I'm walking around the one or two aisles of the Walmart tool section down there. And sure enough, they had a battery-operated drill, and I can't remember the name of it.
I'm telling you, it's Hart. It's a blue and white drill. And on Torque Test Show, they actually, the channels I watch, reviewed some of that stuff and actually gave it a pretty good review. Gave it not a bad review at all.
For the $35, I was able to get the drill, the battery, and a charger.
Right.
I'm like, I got to buy this just to see even if it works for one day, it's worth it.
Right.
Darn thing kept running. I was like, it's not like, it doesn't have the torque of what I have. I think I have what's the one I have? A DeWalt.
Right.
It's over there somewhere on my tool bench.
Yellow and white.
DeWalt's got some nice torque.
Yeah.
I got the Impact. I went and bought a set over at one of the big box stores, which is really cool. You get the sets, and the sets I think are the best value.
Yeah.
And it had the drill and the impact gun.
Right.
You got 2 batteries and 1 charger.
I'll tell you, before Brian texts and melts the text line, I'll tell you this, because I started buying the Milwaukee stuff, and I wanted higher amperage batteries. I give you a 1.5 amp, but I wanted a 2. I actually got a 4 or a 6 for my air inflator, and I actually got 1 or 2 batteries from Brian. He sold me a couple. And then things changed, and I asked him again for another battery. He says, listen, he goes, I don't have any. He says, this is going back within the last year. And there was a lot of knockoff batteries, and they were just blatantly knocking these batteries off to the T, making them, and the packaging and everything was identical, but they were not. They were substandard batteries. He says, and the problem is, no one's figured out how to know what's what until it burns up in your tool or your charger. So
I have a Roby battery that does that, and you have to open it up, and you have to go through the procedures to try and get it back to the point where it can charge again, because it kind of like wigs out on.
The big tip-off is, and this is what I saw at least, when you see batteries for sale that are new, you know what new means, right? Never ever worked. Yeah. They're cheap. Like a Milwaukee battery, maybe $99. And these are like $34. Well, there's your tip-off. That's not a real original Milwaukee bat. I've seen ads where people said, no, new old stock, this stuff is still good, but, it's still current, but, we're switching over to brush. Nah, you know what? No.
And this is what bothers me about, not getting into the subject, but this is what bothers me about the electric car thing. So it's when you have to look at a battery, and you don't know the quality, you don't know what it is, you don't know how much life left it has. So I'm seeing it now just in power tools, because I went and bought another Roby, and they sold me another battery, another charger, and it looks better, it feels better, it's better than the old Roby battery. It's almost like the quality of the technology, the improvements were already put into this new battery.
You know what else has no life left? this show.
This show.
We're done. We're out of here. So, Chris, what do we tell the people waiting for me out in the parking lot with my Rasta wig?
Don't follow us home unless you're going to a good pizza place.
Exactly. So, for Chris Switzer, Ray Guarino will be back next week with more Motor Mouth Radio. We will see you then. Chris, see ya.
See ya, bye.
All right, 90.3 WHPC out.